Hello again, all you webmasters. John here in Educational Technology, and this time we're going to take cropping photos for our homepage or hero slideshow one step further. So in the last tutorial we talked about taking an image like this one and just basically expanding it to the full frame in Canva of the size we want and making sure it's kind of framed the way we want, and we downloaded it. And that works totally fine. But what if you have a vertical photo and you need most of that vertical photo? So as we saw before, if I drag this all the way up and fill the frame, I'm going to be losing a lot of information. Now in this case, that's not necessarily a bad thing because I already had a lot of dead space to work with, but that's not always the case. So sometimes you need that whole photo. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys just one easy, simple trick to make it work the way you want, and then we'll talk even in yet another tutorial how to get more creative with that. So we're in Canva, canva.com. You can use your Google login to get your free account and to get logged in. We have a vertical photo, and as you can see in the large rectangle here, we've got a lot of dead space, which would be bad. So in this case, I want this photo, but I don't want to cut off anything at the top. I'm going to cut off a little bit at the bottom, like maybe right there, but everything else I want to keep. So if I want my photo, for example, to look like that, I still have all this dead space in Final Sight, and that's a problem. So here's a quick and easy and professional looking way to kind of just deal with that. So number one, put your photo in, resize it like you just saw me do, and place it where you want it. I'm going to use these guide markers, those little purple lines you guys see showing up there, to put it right in the middle for starters. Second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. So I can do that by right-clicking and going to copy, and then right-clicking again and going to paste. So now I've got two versions of that photo. Now this one's on top. For anybody who's not used to working in like layers, think of this like you've got different colors of paper, and every time you put a piece of paper on top, that's what you see. So since this one's on top, I'll have to change the order to be able to see the one in the back. So let me show you this first. Number one, I'm going to go ahead and drag this up to the full width of the page. Right there. I might need to zoom out a little bit to get this next part. Now, this again is going to become our background. So first I'm going to kind of place it where I think it might work. Right click, go to send to back. So now I have the photo in the front the way I want it framed, and I've got a photo in the back to just fill up the extra space. You guys probably see stuff like this on the news, like at night all the time. They do this when people shoot vertical and they need to make it fit horizontal. So I filled up that space, but it still looks kind of bad. So if I select that photo, I can now go to some of the built-in things up here at the top. So in this case, I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to go to adjust, and then there's one here that says blur. So simply start dragging to the right that blur until you get the desired effect you want. And that's pretty good. To me, it's blurred enough that my eyes aren't really drawn to it. It looks like it's filling the screen. It looks nice and clean. The only other thing you might want to consider is playing with the saturation. Again, this is on the background image, so I have it selected. I'm going to drag that saturation down just a little bit. For anybody who's not familiar, saturation is color. So if I drag it all the way down, it's going to be black and white, which by the way looks pretty good. But let's just say you want a little bit of color. I'm going to drag that down just a little bit so that it draws my eyes even more to the center image. And that's pretty much it. So now, just like before, we have this in the size and aspect ratio that Final Sight wants. I have my vertical photo placed pretty nicely. I have a nice background that will not distract from it, and I'm done. So now you can go up to download, keep it as PNG, JPEG is fine also, by the way, either of those, and then download. Now you are ready to upload that to Final Sight and hopefully have a very nice looking image without heads or feet cut off. All right, everybody, until next time. See you then.